Class of 2023, guests and colleagues. My name is Ellen Robotham, and on behalf of the University of York and the alumni community, I am delighted to welcome you to your conferment and celebration ceremony. I have a few announcements to make before we begin so that you can relax and enjoy the proceedings. Class of 2023, an easy job to begin with. Please check that your seat number matches the number on your ticket, because you'll be called to stage in this order. If you discover that these do not match, our team of stewards can help you to locate the correct seat. At the appropriate time, you will be invited by the stewards to stand and make your way to the foot of the stairs, ready to head up the stairs across the stage. Very, very easy. There are two key things to note which make for a seamless ceremony. As soon as the person ahead of you begins to cross the stage, please make sure that you make your way up the stairs. Please don't wait until they have crossed the stage before you reach the top of the stairs. And second, when your name is announced, please walk to the centre of the stage and raise or doff your cap rather than shake hands with the Chancellor. Please do pause for a moment at the spot marked X in the centre of the stage for that all-important photo opportunity. Your parchment certificates will be available for collection from the Student Hub from Monday 24th until Monday 31st of July. If your certificate is uncollected, we will post it to the home address we have on record, so please ensure your home address information is up to date on eVision. And your digital certificate will be made available to you through our digital portal, Grad Intelligence. For the students whose awards have been delayed by the marking and assessment boycott, we will let you know how to obtain your certificate when we communicate your final outcome. Everyone from the class of 2023 is welcome to have photographs taken by our official photographers in the Spring Lane building. At the end of the ceremony, the class of 2023 are asked to process out of the hall directed by the stewards. Family and friends, the stewards will show you to the exits once the class of 2023 have left the hall. If the fire alarm should sound at any point, please remain in your seats. Instructions will be given and we will escort you to the nearest exit. When students graduate, they become alumni of the University of York. As an alum, you will join an international community of over 160,000 York alumni in over 180 countries. The university's Alumni Association is a vibrant and active global network which offers services and opportunities that are designed to help graduates make connections with other alumni across the world to support their career development and to provide lifelong learning. York is for life, and we will be there for you every step of the way, particularly as you embark on this important next chapter. You will shortly receive an email giving further details of the ways in which you can remain supported, connected, and active in this community of one of the world's greatest universities. Please do follow our alumni social media channels on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and check out the alumni pages on the university website to keep in touch and learn more about life when you become a York graduate. As you get your first job or take up further study or training, please remember to keep us in touch with what you're doing. Understanding the career paths that you take will help us to provide the right support for current students and make sure we continue to deliver you the relevant information and opportunities. And finally, please remember to join us at your celebratory reception following the ceremony in the Exhibition Centre, where you will be able to celebrate your achievement with a complimentary glass of fizz and a selection of refreshments. So, can I ask you now to please mute your mobile phones, and if you are comfortably able, would you now please stand?
Thank you. I declare this congregation open for the conferment and celebration of the awards. Please be seated. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to you all and welcome to the celebration ceremony at the University of York. Can I just say something before we get into it? You all look fantastic. And I'm going to ask for your acceptance that I'm not going to be able to stand for the whole of the ceremony. I'm going to sit, so please don't take it as a mark of disrespect. I'm recovering from a broken ankle. And although I thought I could do the whole thing with the pretty shoes, I'm struggling. So I'm going to sit and nod, but know that it's coming from a place of real honour. Well, today's a really special day. Welcome to you all, friends and families and supporters of every kind, not only in the auditorium, but the hundreds that are here with us watching this ceremony online. My name is Dr. Heather Melville, and I'm the Chancellor of the University, which is an honorary and ceremonial office. I'm really excited about that. And I was inaugurated in January, so actually, this is my second real celebration that I'm doing. And I have to tell you, after this morning, I felt really uplifted and very emotional. It's a very proud day for you all. The ceremony is a formal moment, a moment in which we mark the collective and individual achievements of this class of 2023. It's also a moment of celebration and joyous informality. Let me tell you that because, as I just said, I only became the Chancellor in January of this year, so I feel like we're on this journey together. I hope you're feeling excited and I hope you're feeling very proud, as I'm sure your family and friends are. So just to lighten the energy in the room at the moment, can we get a big whoop whoop so that I know how proud your family and friends are, just to get the energy going. So no doubt you'll know just how proud your family and friends and those that are online are of you and your achievements today. So, a couple of things I do need to say. It's just right and proper that I do acknowledge that many of you have faced a series of disruptions over the course of your study, and that absolutely includes disruptions over the last couple of weeks. I know that some of you will be feeling very frustrated, which we all deeply regret that, but I also hope that those affected will be able to stand back and reflect on their achievements to date, both within and outside the classroom and their wider time at York. I'm so proud and honoured to be able to share this milestone moment in your lives with all of you and your supporters. So this must be a celebratory of celebration. I want to hear great whoops again as all of you cross the stage. Now this morning we had a couple of people in some very high shoes and some bands and things, so take your time as you step up. This is your moment. We don't want to have a moment when anybody trips or anything like that, so take your time and enjoy it. Perhaps some of you will also be a little bit nervous, but don't worry about that. We're here to make you feel at ease. Although looking at some of the fabulous heels as they were coming in, I was thinking, whoa, we're still here to catch you. I'm new to this community, so I thought I'd give you a brief introduction of what drives me. Up until recently, I had a fairly long corporate career throughout banking. Let's just say it was over 40 years. So if I say that, across professional services, banking, and most recently as a senior managing director at a global consultancy. I've spent a lifetime advising business leaders, enabling them to achieve their goals faster by earning trust, navigating disruption and removing barriers, something which I know you would have all had to experience during your time over the last few years. I'm passionate about helping businesses advance and develop their diversity and inclusion agenda to help them find the very best talent, like all of you in this room today, drawn from a whole range of backgrounds. And I have to say, I am so proud to be the Chancellor of York. When I look across all the graduates and I look at the diverse backgrounds that are in this room, I know that we're true to our word. In addition, I'm also the chair of CMI Women, which is the Chartered Management Institute, a group that focuses predominantly on leadership and management. I hope you're starting to get a bit of a theme about why I'm here. I'm also patron of Women in Banking and Finance, which again supports women in those sectors to achieve everything they are capable of. And this is something that I'm absolutely passionate about. Throughout my career, I've spent enormous time supporting entrepreneurs. And now, after a 40+ career, I have cast aside working inside large corporates and become an entrepreneur myself. I've set up my own consultancy business, and I have to tell you that it's exciting whilst terrifying, but most of all, it's energising. It's like being given an entirely new lease of life. I'm a Bob Dylan fan, and I've been reflecting on some of his very wise words. I offer them to you as a guiding principle for your own career paths. You need something to open up a new door, to show you something you've seen before, but overlooked 100 times or more. And who am I to argue with Bob Dylan? I put it to you that you have the opportunity to use your experiences over the past few years to open new doors, reflect on what you've learned about yourself, and identify what drives your own energy and passion. And most importantly, your own integrity. Don't forget that. For me, I'm using a lifetime of experience to reshape what I do, how I do it, and with who I do it, but always with the aim of making a positive difference. And that includes my role here as a Chancellor. I want everyone to feel a visceral sense of belonging the moment they cross our threshold. I want you to retain your affinity with us through your extensive alumni support programmes long after you've left to contribute to your own unique talents to making the world a better place. I'm so excited by working on behalf of an organisation with public good at its heart, one which draws a rich tradition of social justice and combating inequality. I'm particularly inspired by the inclusive approach that York is taking in retrospect to encouraging and fostering inclusive entrepreneurship. The establishment of the university's Enterprise Works in the heart of the city is not an identikit model of supporting startups. Rather, Enterprise Works is identifying and nurturing entrepreneurial talent across all parts of our community to develop business opportunities and, crucially, to drive social change. And no better place to really kick that off but this audience of graduates today. I'm especially proud that Enterprise Works is collaborating intensively with our social enterprise community. Social enterprise is a vital sector spanning multi-million-pound organisations to tiny backstreet groups, but they all aim to deliver social change. We need a new way of working by bringing major businesses, public sector, education providers and social enterprises together to deliver a more inclusive opportunity for everyone. But you all know that we face profound wider challenges in relation to equality and diversity. We live in a world of polarisation, combative, negative, and in some cases, open racist narratives that seek to otherise, marginalise minority and vulnerable groups. Here in York, we are taking a very proactive and inspiring approach. Inspired by you, first, we are working to understand the nature and scale of the problem by listening. In our case, that has included extensive listening and engagement with existing networks, groups and individuals to understand people's experiences and expectations of the university. A great example of how we've approached this is our student-led Middle Ground initiative, which has helped normalise having difficult conversations and seeks to encourage everyone to consider other people's perspectives, as well as providing space where people can share their lived experiences related to very different challenges. Secondly, we are aiming to transform and inspire people to understand how listening and learning can be transformed into actions and achievements. And finally, we have developed a programme of engagement and representation to offer platforms for a range of voices, celebrate achievements and bring people together, like new events such as our Inclusive Impact Awards, which was launched last autumn and was one of my first and joyous introductions to the York community. Over the next few days, some 5,000 students will celebrate with us here on this stage. As you take your next steps into your early careers or further study, I call upon you to remember and treasure the things that you have embraced and embodied here in York. The University of York has a strong tradition of engendering curiosity through the power of its teaching, its research, its wider public engagement. We want to support all of our students to have the confidence to question and challenge the status quo, but to do so in a respectful, solutions-oriented way, underpinned by the ethos of collaboration and positivity. We hope that the consideration, kindness, respect, and personal accountability that is the hallmark of our community will become your own personal brand. In the same way that you have all contributed to your student and local communities, I have every confidence that you will bring this keenly developed sense of social purpose and public good to your future lives and careers. Each of you have had different experiences during your programs of study. Every student has unique hopes, unique skills, and unique anxieties, and all of you have transformed those into unique and personal stories of achievement. Everyone has had a very different journey, but at York we believe passionately that it's a journey that you won't walk alone. So from today, you graduate, but you're not on your own. You have built, remember I mentioned 5,000 alumni. They are your network to help you on your journey. Everyone has had a very different journey. I pay tribute to you. Your achievements that we're celebrating here today have been enriched by your ability to adapt, to show resilience, and to look outside of yourselves, but also to support others. As I said, you're joining a global community of some 160,000 York alumni. You have studied during a time of unprecedented global and, as we know in the UK, higher education sector disruption. I pay tribute to you and your achievements that we're celebrating here today have been enriched by your ability to adapt, to show resilience, and to look outside of yourselves and to support others too. But my predecessor, Professor Sir Malcolm Grant, was famous for remarking, "It is rare that anyone says, 'I wish that the Chancellor had spoken for a little longer.'" So in that spirit, I think all that remains is for me to say a huge thank you to all of your supporters and families that have really helped you through this really challenging period. To our Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Charlie Jeffrey, and his leadership team, who have welcomed me into the York community so readily and so warmly, to all the staff that work behind the scenes tirelessly to make days like today and the next couple of days go absolutely seamlessly. It is really your families and your supporters that have absolutely allowed you to, and your hard work, to really stand firmly on this stage today. Without you, we are absolutely nothing, and that's something for you to remember. Now more than ever, the world needs the brightest minds to come together to pool their knowledge, their compassion, and their problem-solving capabilities. Universities are beacons of hope because over centuries, they have expanded the frontiers of knowledge, building on each generation's hard work and commitment in the pursuit of truth and justice through the enabling power of education. Everyone here today offers another layer of hope that we can work together to overcome challenges, prejudice, and injustices. I urge you to go out into the world with pride, with courage, and with integrity to question untruths and inequality at every opportunity. I really do want you to turn to your family and friends who have come here and really thank them for helping us to make today a really spectacular day. I therefore open this summer celebration ceremony. Thank you.
Professor Paul Wakeling will now present the class of 2023 on behalf of the Department of Education.
Thank you. Don't usually get a round of applause for that bit. Thank you. Chancellor, I have the honour to present the following candidates who have pursued the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Applied Linguistics. For research in Identity and Foreign Language Learning, Munira Al-Shahail. For research in the role of reading in reading to write tasks, Ahmed Al-Sheikhi. For research in English as a foreign language, communicative writing and motivation, Rana Al-Zarani. For research in the acquisition of segments and tones in Mandarin, Rei Chi Chu. For research in language and literacy skills of university students, Justina Makovic. For research in the implementation and impact of dialogic teaching, Onsaturi Watanapruk Sudwan. For research in Saudi migrant children's motivation to learn English, Jihan Turngano. For pursuing the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Education, for research in peer-based online learning communities, Nihad Alem. For research in feedback and primary pupil improvement responses, Sarah Krellin. For research in how juvenilia and creative writing shapes identity, Daisy Johnson. For research in development of students' science career intentions, Meng Yao Li. For research in environmental citizen science and action in school, Smriti Safaya. For research in girls reading gender in 19th century novels, Katie Smith. For pursuing the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Psychology and Education, for research in academic achievement in English as an additional language children, Eve Smith. For pursuing the degree of Master of Arts in Applied Linguistics for Language Teaching, Tuong Ho. For pursuing the degree of Master of Arts in Education, Zhang Teng. For pursuing the degree of Master of Arts in Global and International Citizenship Education, Jia Lu Li. For pursuing the degree of Master of Arts in Social Justice and Education, Bo Wang. For pursuing the degree of Master of Arts in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages, Yinghuan Dong. Yiran Li. Chan Chan Zhao. For pursuing the degree of Master of Science in Mental Health and Wellbeing in Education, Angeline Alexander. Annie Victoria Saharaj. For pursuing the degree of Master of Science in Psychology and Education, Michaela Johnson. For pursuing the degree of Postgraduate Certificate in Education in Biology, Joseph Cahill. Thomas Gabitas. Sally Montford. For pursuing the degree of Postgraduate Certificate in Education in Chemistry, Molly Hope. Joseph Privet. For pursuing the degree of Postgraduate Certificate in Education in English, Samuel Armstrong. Bethany Ashton Smith. Abigail Brooks. Lily Davis. Grace Dye. Edward Goundry. Gillian Hardy. Amy Kelly. Ailish Lee. Amelia Martell. Ellie Masterson. Naz Maya Romani. Victoria Rudd. Georgia Sharkey. Alex Scaife. Riona Wellman. For pursuing the degree, a postgraduate certificate in education in geography, Holly Chesney. Georgina Steers. Lucy Waldron. For pursuing the degree, a postgraduate certificate in education in history, Victoria Allen. Robert Boulding. Jessica Ball. Guy Brown. Neve Carville. Luke Higginson. Katie Hopwood. Alexandra Ifans. Gemma Makin. Bryony Meyer. Bryony Moss. Amy Nuttall. William Payne. David Turner. Oren Walker. For pursuing the degree, a postgraduate certificate in education in mathematics, Rebecca Bewley. Hannah Bradish. Jack Cushing. Tom Guttridge. Freddie Mansfield. Samuel Pilling. For pursuing the degree of postgraduate certificate in education in modern languages, French with Spanish, Antoine Deneboud. Kate Edens. William McBride. For pursuing the degree of postgraduate certificate in education in modern languages, German with Spanish, Vivienne Brownell. For pursuing the degree of postgraduate certificate in education in modern languages, Spanish with French, Rebecca Emery. Jessica Greenfield. Eleanor Greenwood. Olivia Gregory. Bethany Rees. For pursuing the degree of postgraduate certificate in education in physics, Toby Bocock. Bethan Thomas. Jack Weston. For pursuing the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Education, Jingyi Cheng. Rhiannon Curtis Hughes. Emily Fours. Hei Feng Ling. Yu Chen Liu. Yu Jia Liu. Libby Moss. Zara Sharif. Yong Chi Tung, Xinyue Wang, Georgia Whitaker, Catherine Worsley. For pursuing the degree of Bachelor of Arts in English and Education, Maya Charman, Adam Frankland, Molly Lam, Yu Wen Shan. For pursuing the degree of Bachelor of Science in Psychology and Education, Amna Case Abdel Rahim, Lydia Arbernis, Charlotte Atkinson, Rin Floria Villanita Aurora Aziz, Shiara Baffa, Tegan Boyles, Megan Bower,
Our student music ensemble, E Anonymy, will now perform What a Wonderful World, arranged by Peter Hicks.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies the white as a dove, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people walking by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. Let my child, and I know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, yeah.
again. For pursuing the degree of Bachelor of Science in Psychology and Education, Eleanor Rohan Bray. Amy Cooper. Eva Denzelo Killick. Mackenzie Duncan. Hannah George. Harriet Goss. Lucy Hargraves. Hannah Hattersley. Jessica Jane Hoyle. Emma Hyde. Charlotte Jones. Emily Keeley. Meryl Kirkby. Molly Konchesky. Mary Middleton. Sophie Miles. Daniel Mindel. T. Miranda Ramos Prata. Sarah Parker. Matilda Phillips. Lucy Philpott. Hannah Salter. James Stewart. Lauren Shearer. Charlotte Shaw. Georgia Smith. Luke Sweetlove. Sumun Tariq. Rosanna Vasily.
Professor Roland Garrels will now present the class of 2023 on behalf of the Department of Environment and Geography.
Chancellor, I have the honor to present the following candidates who have pursued the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Environmental Economics and Environmental Management. For research in challenges to support supply chain sustainability, it's Karina Müller. For pursuing the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Environmental Geography for research in a multidisciplinary analysis of British storms, Alexander Jardine. For pursuing the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Human Geography and Environment for research in sustainable community development, I forgot one. It's Katie of all people, so I'm going to go back. For pursuing the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Environmental Science for research in plastic pollution, microorganisms and invertebrate, an extra applause please for Katie Valentine. I hope I'm not going to make more mistakes. For pursuing the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Human Geography and Environment for research in sustainable community development, it's Sitong Mu. And for research in climate change and non-migration in Bangladesh, it's Gholam Rabbani. For pursuing the degree of Master of Philosophy in Environmental Geography, Zheng Fang. Oh, Katrina was my student, actually. She's not here. That's a shame. Katrina, if you're watching. For pursuing the degree of Master of Science in Corporate Sustainability and Environmental Management, Yasmin Shaw. For pursuing the degree of Master of Science in Environmental Science and Management, Isabella Arispe. For pursuing the degree of Master of Environment in Environment, Economics and Ecology, Shakima Fagan. For pursuing the degree of Master of Environment in Environmental Science, Leon Allen. Thomas Bland. Abby Chamberlain. Zara Coulthard. Ailey MacDonald. Thomas Shaw. Ananya Tawar. For pursuing the degree of Master of Environment in Environmental Science with placement year, Lucy Eady. For pursuing the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Human Geography and Environment, Catherine Allen, Alexander Boyd, Jemima Burden, Eden Bird, Rachel Carpenter, Benedict Coulson, Molly Crosby, Eleanor Davies, Megan Davies, Ellie Douglas, Jack Alice, Kalani Foster, May Geeter, Mira Korespai, Jack Hawthorne, Anya Headland, George Hewitson, Alicia Johal, Imogen Kendall, Varun Krishnan Sharma, Mungo Leveroni, Emma Caroline Lorenzen, Sylvia Machiviev-Vaite,
Joan Concannon, Director External Relations and the York Festival of Ideas, will now present Honorary Graduate Sanjoy K. Roy.
When India's greatest poet, Rabindranath Tagore, wrote, "I slept and dreamt life was joy. I woke and found that life was service. I acted and behold, life was a joy." I believe he could have been thinking about Sanjoy Roy. Chancellor, I have the enormous privilege of presenting to you Sanjoy K. Roy for the honour of Doctor of the University. Sanjoy is a man of inspiring vision, inexhaustible curiosity, and one of the world's greatest cultural ambassadors. easily spotted by his trademark long silver hair. He is a man who believes passionately in the power of artistic expression and endeavour to make the world around us enriching, empowering, and empathetic. A man who adores the outer fringes of experimental cooking, embracing different cuisines and spices. An inspiring mentor, boss, and friend. A man who is spiritually inclined, but hugely irreverent. A man acknowledged by his team as one who is easily bored, but has a large and generous heart. Those characteristics are the very characteristics that have made the Jaipur Literature Festival, of which he is producer, the greatest literary show on earth. At the 2022 York Festival of Ideas, the writer, historian, and co-founder of the Jaipur Literature Festival, William Dalrymple, who received an honorary degree earlier this week from York also, readily acknowledged the public and enormous debt that the festival owes Sanjoy Roy in developing and delivering the festival's enormous global reach. Sanjoy's path to becoming a major producer in the arts was not perhaps preordained. Following a degree in philosophy from St. Stephen's College in Delhi, he went to law school but dropped out to embark on his first career in Indian television at the outset of its enormous expansion. At the same time, he became an active member of the Delhi-based Theatre Action Group. In 1989, he co-founded Teamwork as a film production company and met Punita, who is now his wife. In Sanjoy's words, by the mid-1990s, we had 40 daily or weekly soap operas, puppet shows, news programs, talk shows, art shows, cooking shows. We became a factory for television. In 1995, at the peak of its popularity, Teamwork made a drastic and to many shocking decision to stop production for television. Sanjoy has recalled that we shifted from making money every hour to pure art. We realized that there was huge artistic content in India, yet what the country lacked were platforms to showcase this wealth. In Sanjoy's words, everything Teamwork Arts does is all about the arts and the artists. Sanjoy's desire to create a supportive ecosystem for the arts and his passion for providing the platforms through which India's burgeoning art scene can help diversify and enhance brand India is truly awe-inspiring. Teamwork transitioned from a TV content production hub to a more generalist arts organization that developed, curated, and produced live events, before spotting the opportunity to harness Jaipur's incredible and unique heritage to develop the Jaipur Literature Festival. Described as part circus, part postgraduate seminar, and part revolutionary assembly, Jaipur Literature Festival has now become one of the largest festivals in the world. I was lucky enough to go to the 2020 Jaipur Festival, and it was literally an assault on the senses. Leaving aside the global cast list of speakers and performers participating, what was most striking was the energetic participation of vast and mostly young audiences. From packed-out open marquees passionately exploring the state of Indian politics, and by the way, making the average political debate in the UK look like a vicar's tea party, to children's hands-on workshops, cooking, dancing, music, fashion shows, and keynote speakers such as the Indian Nobel Prize winner Abhijit Banerjee, who came across loud and clear with the visceral sense of the extraordinary and diverse culture of India showcased by this brilliant festival. Attracting more than 500,000 people over 5 days, it was joyous to see thousands of young people enthusiastically embracing the festival's eclectic and inspiring programme. International editions of JLF now travel to the UK, to the US, Canada, Australia, the Maldives, and Spain. COVID brought new challenges to festivals, but the JLF responded by launching their digital series, JLF Brave New World and JLF Words Are Bridges, viewed by over 4.8 million people in their first season. I am delighted that York Festival of Ideas has also partnered with JLF over the past few years, even through COVID lockdowns. Sanjoy's other passion is the Salam Balak Trust, which he co-founded in 1988 with the filmmaker Mira Nair and her mother Praveen Nair. Salam Balak Trust translates literally to a trust that salutes the child. Saluting the indomitable spirit of street children without discrimination lies at the heart of the Trust's work, and the Trust salutes their resolve to live a life of dignity by providing care and love, along with health, nutrition, education, and vocational training to fulfill their dreams. The Trust was awarded the US President's Committee of Arts and Humanities Awards for an international organization by President Barack Obama. In a world that is becoming increasingly polarized, unstable, and undemocratic, Sanjoy's work offers a vital counterbalance by bringing people together to debate, discuss, explore ideas, knowledge, and challenges. Festivals like JLF and York Festival of Ideas have a shared mission with universities, and especially a university for the public good like the University of York. We want everyone to have access to knowledge and truth. We want to expand the frontiers of understanding, and we want to use our convening power to drive collaboration and positive social change. For the power of Sanjoy's vision, the inspiration of his leadership, and the unadulterated joy his work brings to millions of people around the world, we salute you. Salam, Sanjoy. Chancellor, I am honoured to present Sanjoy K. Roy for the degree of Doctor of the University honoris causa.
Through the power invested in me by the University of York, I have great pleasure in conferring upon you the degree of your Doctor of the University honoris causa. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Chancellor, members of the Academic Council, professors, parents, and you wonderful graduates. The last time Punitha and I went to a commencement or a graduation ceremony was our youngest son in Hampshire College in Amherst, where they came wearing plastic bottles, bubble wrap, and occasionally nothing at all. So to see all of you dressed up is really quite an incredible occasion. So congratulations. Parents, to add, absolutely. Parents, to add to what the Chancellor said, congratulations to all of you for staying the course. This indeed is your investment. This is the time to let them walk free. Remember, they will be back. And when they do come back, do treat them with love and understanding, especially if they say we want to study further for another few years. Hold your breath on that one. For all of you graduating here from the University of York, it's taken me 6 years, thanks to Joan Conconan, to get me here and find a date that I could be here with all of you. And really, thank you, Joan, and thank you to the Festival of Ideas at the University of York, and all of you for inviting me to your beautiful city. But to you, you received your degree. You will be stepping out into the world. You've done what you think you've come here to do. But this is really your beginning. A university's role is to get you to question. Yes, it's not necessarily that your parents like those questions, nor your teachers or the government or people in power, but it is your role to question. It is your role to fight for the truth. Not occasionally, once a month when you pick up the papers outside of WhatsApp, but every day, every hour, every minute. You're walking into a world which is in a most difficult situation. You have climate crisis, you have wars, you have the forgotten wars of Afghanistan and Southern Sudan and so many other places. You are privileged. Privileged because your parents have supported you and you've supported and worked yourself to be here. There are so many millions of people across the world in different parts who every day fight for survival. And it is a difficult fight. So when you step out into the world, tread gently upon the earth, because you will be treading on someone's dreams. Remember, for every opportunity that you reach out to grab, you must look at taking others along. There are those who have nothing. They're the homeless, people with mental health issues, people with physical issues, people from other colors and other religions. And that really, in many ways, is the role of the arts. Why is the arts important? Not just in the beautiful singing that we heard a little while ago. The arts is important because it allows you a window into another world, a different philosophy, a different way of life, a different religion. It allows you to understand, and perhaps in the understanding, it removes that ignorance. Ignorance, as we all know in some ways, is the cause of fear. And fear is the cause of hatred. And in pushing back on ignorance and hatred, perhaps we will be able to push back on the violence that we see that surrounds us today. For each of you, go out there with that positivity of spirit and the possibility of innovation in process, in work, in thought, in science, in technology, in medicine, in environment, in every part that you will deal with. Can you bring something new to it? Can you bring a new thought, a new way of doing something to be able to help the rest of us? Our generation has sadly failed you. We are leaving for you an earth which is in a very distressed situation. We give to you a world that's broken, but our hope and their investment lies in you. Go out there with every strength and succeed. Fly and achieve your dream. Nothing can stop you. Congratulations, and once again, Joan, Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, professors, thank you so much for having me here. I'm not necessarily the one who's the brightest in our family. My brother, who's a nuclear economist, is the one who got all the brains, but I got the hair. And because of that, I get this. Thank you.
Chancellor, I have the honor to present the following candidates for pursuing the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Human Geography and Environment. Finlay McCroy. Benedict Newton. Kitty Northcutt. Isabel Sennett. James Swallow. Catherine Vinton. Ned Weston. Danielle Wilkinson. Emma Wilson. Ollie Weissman. Matthew Darby. Alicia Henry. Mina Yahimowicz. Emily Jones. Tilly Postlethwaite. Maximilian Preston. Sofia Rosetta. Alice Rawson. Alexandra Smith. And Lara Stoney. For pursuing the degree of Bachelor of Science in Environment, Economics and Ecology, Charles Barrett. Catherine Kane. Emma Davis. Tara Doricott. Alice English. Charlotte Fletcher Stables. Ewan Hardy. Thomas House. Jojo Jackman. Abigail Kerr. Saskia Kirschlager. Persiana Motoshemi. Florence Newhouse. Natasha Nicholson-Going. Harry Pike. Thomas Purvis. Aryayan Rafinteran. Ruby Soper. Kelton Staley. Amelia Tanner. Catherine Taylor. Vera Torhonen. Molly Watson. For pursuing the degree of Bachelor of Science in Environment, Economics and Ecology with placement year, Darcy Cook. Antonia Devereaux. Louis Sanderson. Alessandra Mattia Spadaro. Sebastian Topali. For pursuing the degree of Bachelor of Science in Environmental Geography, James Aird. Ewan Anderson. Imogen Arundel Walker. Benjamin Basto. Gracie Chapman. Yasmin Cooper. Sarah Curran. Lydia Deacon. Eddie Dunn. Isabel Greenlee. Thomas Johnston. Ethan Lawrence. Courtney Livesey. Benjamin McClellan. Jessica Miles. Elizabeth Morris. Anthony Mudd. Gemma Shaper. Connie Sullivan. Mia Waterhouse. Mia Wood. Chloe Wright. For pursuing the degree of Bachelor of Science in Environmental Geography with placement year, Lillian Greenhalgh. Phoebe McKissack. Amelia Smith. For pursuing the degree of Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science, Ho Agar. Emar Ali. Ross Banks. Jessica Bardsley. George Berengi. Rebecca Booth. Eve Brooks Parkin. Emma Dunwell. Ben Greener. Debbie Happenstall. Catherine Holmes. Isha Kaur. Philippa Leaf. Kezia Lucas. Rylan Mann. Melita Mbiwai. Nicole McGimsey. Elamim. Claudia Milani Samtarpia Vargas. Abby Newbold. Matteo Nicolai. Carmen Orr. Yvette Peak. Pike. Rachel Risen. Hannah Sutcliffe. Joseph Tibey. Jin Tong Wu. Jolin Zhao. For pursuing the degree of Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science with placement year, Phoebe Green. Rebecca Holiday. Emily Neri. Isla Stubbs.
It is my enormous pleasure to introduce Jean Teng, our student orator, who will speak on behalf of the class of 2023. Our student orators have been invited to speak in recognition of their hard work on behalf of the student community and commitment to their studies. Our speakers have both pursued the most enriching experience they could during their time at York, as well as giving back to their community. On behalf of the class of 2023, I give you Jean Teng.
Dear graduates, colleagues, families, friends, my name is Zhang Teng. I will study MA education and will graduate today. I will start my speech with my name first. When I came to the UK for my pre-masters, I took my Chinese name as my English name. Not only because I was proud of my name, but also Chinese pronunciation is more difficult. I want to make things difficult for my lecturers, to make them give up calling my name and answer questions or interact in the seminars. It turns out they respected my name so much that they keep asking me how to pronounce it and answering the question. Language is the foundation of explore our academic journey. Through my pre-masters and until now, I've gone from being afraid to speak English, feeling a lack of engagement and not fitting at the university at the beginning, to representing the student's voice at the university as an academic officer. I have always believed that culture influences the way people express themselves, and the way to express oneself is through language. In the scenario of exchanging languages, people can feel different cultures, just like some jokes are funny in Chinese, but you can't get the fun part in other languages. I'm happy that I can get jokes in both languages, which means I have more chance to have fun. Studying MA education program at the University of York is a process of keeping one's mind open to new things and exchanging experiments in an open environment. I used to say education is a glue connecting different cultures and personalities together and offering the platform to respect and learning from each other. It can be really hard when we're trying to being open-minded and learning from each other. When I was in kindergarten learning how to write words, I wrote a word wrong and my teacher told me I need to correct it after checking the dictionary when I get home. I did correct it. I corrected the dictionary. I corrected the correct word in the dictionary with my clumsy writing and justified it by finding my teacher and saying she was wrong. When I thought about what culture is, I realized that architecture, food, clothing, art, even education are all part of culture. When we are in particular cultural context, we develop a particular stereotype. And there is a potential standard that we measure right and wrong. So I'm always saying that when we are trying to break this stereotype, we are engaging in a cultural exchange scenario. All of us are those people who will bring our mixed knowledge to every corner of the world and make changes. I want to thank my mentor in China who encouraged me to be inclusive, brave, and break my stereotypes. I want to thank my mom and my family over there being so supportive to me. Every time and everywhere. I want to thank Professor Paula Montfort, who takes care of me like my British mom. And Dr. Constantino Domaghi Jr., who gives me the confidence to know that ethnic minorities can show in such a great power in education. I think I'm Dr. Constantino Domaghi Jr.'s favorite student. Well, at least I believe so. I'm going to tell you the reason why he loves me so much. It's because I'm the only student in my class who gave the reaction after his joke. Please, Constantino, make a funny one next time. I'm kidding, I love you the best. I want to thank all of my GSA friends, my Yusu friends. I would like to thank you, support me every time and everywhere, no matter working or after works. I'm proud of all of us. I'm proud of home students who have a very open mind and inclusive attitude to learning about our culture and exchange theirs to us. I'm proud of all international students because I know what a huge challenge it is to adapt the different culture, environment, and languages. Breaking our comfort zone to face the challenge is hard, but we did it. Cheers to all graduates.
Don't stop. We're going to have a bit more of that. So really what I want to do is I want the parents, the supporters in the room to stand up and shout how proud you are of all of these students. After 3. Thank you. We could be doing this all day because they are so proud of you. But actually, I want you to remember that every single time you have a doubt in your mind. I want you to remember that noise in this room, how high you took it, how hard you have worked. And now it's your turn to stand up. And I want you to stand up, all you students. And I want you to say a huge thank you to your family, your friends, the lecturers and the university who are so proud of you today and have helped you on your journey. After 3. And I guess after the noise that's been in here, the eruption of pride and happiness, I can now declare this congregation closed. Thank you all so much. Have a great afternoon celebrating. Can I ask you all to stand just as the procession goes and we say goodbye? Thank you.